grit beats talent every single time. Introducing the new BF Goodrich all-terrain KO3 tire. Legendary toughness made tougher. BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Alexander Ford, Yuma's best new vehicle dealer, is celebrating Black Friday all month with a 2025 Ford F-150 Crew Cab STX, just $40,749, save nearly $6,000. Or drive a Bronco Big Ben, just $43,999. A Bronco Sport, just $28,499. Or the final 25 Escapes, discounted nearly $8,000 to $26,999. See them all at BillAlexanderFord.com and ask about your $500 military rebate. Alexander Ford, a difference you can count on.
The international race attracts drivers and off-road racing enthusiasts from all over the world.
Off-road racing is important to Baja Designs because, simply put, it tests the envelope and it clearly makes or breaks the progression aspect of what we do and why we do it. The racers out here are the 1% pushing it to its full potential. This is a proving ground for every aspect of lighting.
All right, welcome back. We are here once again for another Method Race Wheels Fishgistics update presented by Fox Shocks. We are covering the 2025 BF Goodrich Score Baja 1000, the 58th annual running of it, and the 50th for BFG. 50 years BFG's been supporting this race. So big shout out to BFG, some of the best tires out there. And without BFG, honestly, these races would not be what they are. They really help out a lot with the course marking, doing all that stuff down there. Nate does and everything. So they do a great job laying out the course and everything. So big shout out to them. All right, we have not had a Monster Energy yet because I'm trying to wait as long as possible. Because the only bad thing is if you start doing monsters too early, then you have kind of like a crash when you stop drinking them, and you don't want to drink too many of them because, you know, yeah, it's going to be a long night. So we're going to wait a little bit. Haven't had to have a monster yet, but good news is we did have pizza. I got a little bit of crust left right here. Do you guys like crust? I like crust, but not like all of it. So we got a little bit of crust left. We had our pizza. We had some wings. Buffalo, of course, with ranch, and we're good to go. So we're ready for the next 12 hours. I think this is our 12th hour update. That means we're halfway there for our updates. I don't know. Well, I don't know if we're going to do 24 this year. We might not have to do that many. The course is looking a little faster, actually. Let's go over and check it out. Our leaders, Christopher Polvardi's truck with Bryce Menzies, not his truck, his entry in Bryce Menzies' truck with Bryce Menzies now behind the wheel is still out front. You can see they are at the most northern part of the course, just about. They are at mile 647.4. And then let's see what else. Hold on. We got to wait because the tracker likes to mess with us every time we go to look. So as soon as it reloads, we're going to uncheck the auto refresh so it doesn't do this on us every 2 seconds. One of these times, maybe we'll learn to do that right before we start our update. Jeez, this thing's taking forever today. It's just this track. I like this tracker because you can sort by class easiest. That's the best way for this tracker. But we might as well go look at the Racing Redefined tracker, actually. So this one is cool. The only problem with the Racing Redefined, it's only the UTV, the unlimited trophy trucks, which is awesome. I mean, it's cool to have something. It just doesn't show us everybody. But we can go up here. We can look at the top. We can see there is the 94 in first. Second is the number 1. That is Alan Impudia. Third is the number 46, Toby Price, Paul Wheel. So definitely a good race between these three now. We had Tabo was up there earlier. They had a crash. Jason McNeil had a little crash. They're okay. Unfortunately, scratched the nicest paint job in Baja. So that's a bit of a bummer right there. But it is what it is. That's racing. So the 94 is still out front. But I mean, look how close this is. That says race mile 650, right? Or 645 right here that they just went by. 645 miles. That is longer than any other race this year in the desert, right? It is. Vegas to Reno was only 500 something. The Baja 500 is only 500 something. So they've already gone longer than every other race this year, and they still have about 200 miles to go. And look at how close this is between the top three. I mean, they're within seconds of each other right here. This is crazy. If we go look at the leaderboard, We can go back to mile, let's see, 635. Why isn't that last one showing up on here? Well, there's Luke. That was at 625. So he was, oh, yeah, look at that. Toby Price. It doesn't get any closer than that right there. That is not even 6/10 of a second. That is 6/100ths of a second between Alan Ampudia and Toby Price. 6/100ths of a second between them at race mile 625. And then it was 16 minutes back to Luke. Now, I need to know why this doesn't show the Christopher Pavardi on here for some reason, Bryce Menzies. It does up until mile 620, and then it doesn't after that. So just keep that in mind. It did at check 10, though, so perfect. Okay, cool. In a minute here, we should get good times when they go by this check 10 thing. So as soon as they go by check 10, we should have some actual update times with all three of them here. Let's see what they say. Oh, someone said Legacy had a race that was a little longer. You are correct, actually. I forgot about that. I even did a preview show on it. The Legacy Baja Nevada was a little bit longer than this so far. It won't be by the end, I don't think. I don't think it was 800 miles long, right? It was like 7 something or 6 something. But yeah. All right, we're waiting on them to come by. There's the check 10 thing, so we just need him to come by there. What happened to Ampudia here? This tracker kind of bounced around for a second. I don't know. This thing's kind of being weird now. It's getting to that time of the night where stuff starts getting weird, that's for sure. What issues do we have going on here? Ampudia live stream has issues. Uh-oh. Oh, look at this. Let's turn the sound on. All right, he's in the pit. That is Alan Ampudia in the pit. That is the #1 class champion from last year who has won every single race so far this year. This is not ideal. This is not a planned pit. Looks like they might be changing a belt or something. Maybe alternator. Let's see. All right, they just said, F it, let's go. So I don't know what they did there. They had a tool. Did anybody see that before we turned it on here? Did you guys see, did they change anything? Did they put a new belt on there? The car was running the whole time, so definitely not a belt. I don't know what they were messing with under there. If anybody saw what they were messing with before we turned it on right here, let me know. Obviously, having the hood off in a pit is not ideal. They are, somebody said, Robert says he was sawing at the steering wheel. Maybe something with the power steering or something like that. Maybe the lights. Mess with the lights, maybe? I don't know. Oh no, what happened to Luke? Luke just crashed? Oh, Luke's right here. What happened to him? Stopped in the bushes. Looks like a flat, maybe? Oh, I think they just turned the camera off, maybe. All right, all right. Yeah, Nick, you're right. It's a mid-engine truck. What are we talking about? He's changing the belt up front. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's changing some kind of belt up front there. Maybe I don't know what's up there. Something's up there. Maybe a light belt or something. You're right. Totally forgot about that though. That is pretty funny. Okay, what happened to Luke? Flat? All right. See, this is the problem. There's so many damn feeds to watch nowadays. I don't know which one to turn on. That's why I just sit here and watch party like this and cycle between the audio. Let's go to Luke's. Let's see. Okay, they sound like they're okay now. So yeah, they're going on. Yeah, light actuator belt. See, that's probably what it was. This is the light actuator belt. It's only 9 o'clock. We can't be getting that delirious yet here, huh? All right. So we have Luke McMillan who stopped. He's going again. We have Ampudia who stopped and is going again. That is 2 out of the top 4 trucks right there that just stopped. So Toby Price did not stop there, and Christopher Polvardi, Bryce Menzies did not stop there. So that is good for the 94 and the 46. That is bad for the 1 and the 83. You can see they're going to have to make up a little bit of time there. So definitely, let's see, Toby got around Allen during that pit. Yeah, Toby and Allen have kind of been going back and forth. Remember, Toby passed Allen on the road when Allen came out of his pit right as Toby was going by. Then Allen did get his way back around Toby because he was driving pretty hard. We saw the video. He was driving pretty damn hard, and he got around Toby. Now they just had the hood off the car, messing with not a belt probably in the front, and Toby was able to get back around him. So lots of drama here on the last few couple hundred miles of the race. Anything can happen there. All right, let's go look at some other classes. You guys have got me all confused here on what's on what truck here. So let's see. Going to go to the Spec truck class because they're going to be closest once this thing reloads. Let's see where the Spec trucks are. It was a good race with Justin Davis earlier. Then we heard he was had to check the oil for a little bit and was stopped. So let's go to Spec trucks right here. I'm going to turn the refresh off for a minute. And yeah, we have Brent Fox with his son driving is going to be out front. Second place, Justin Davis. Third place, Jack Olagus is showing now, and then Mike Marsal is showing as fourth. So there is your top 4 specs. Honestly, there's no one else even really close. Thor Herp's right here, but he's grayed out for 40 minutes. So I don't know if Thor's still going or not. We could probably go try to find his camera feed, but I don't have time for that right now. So Brent Fox first, like we said, Justin Davis showing as second. That is your trophy truck spec. Now the trophy truck 2-wheel drive, we have to look for the T. So we have the 82 T right here. Sam Baldy is going to be your first 2-wheel drive trophy truck. And then we have Cameron Steele, same order there. The 16T is going to be your second 2-wheel drive trophy truck. So it's going to be between those two guys, honestly. But Cameron has to get in front of the 82 if he wants to beat him because he started 3 minutes in front of him. So he's going to have to pass him and get in front of him by 3 minutes in order to beat him. So that's going to be tough there. What are you guys saying? Amputia's having problems now? Well, let's go watch this thing for a minute here. Is the lights going off and on? Okay, so obviously he's having some kind of electrical problem with his lights. That's what they were messing with up there. So they were messing with his lights, most likely. And yeah, that sucks because you can't drive very fast at night when you don't have very many lights. His top light bar is on, but when he gets in the dust, it's basically useless and you can't see much. But look at his bottom lights. There is something weird going on there. So not an ideal situation for Ampudia trying to sweep the series here without having his lights working very well. So that is a bummer for him. Meanwhile, Luke McMillan here, if we can look back at him. He's going good again. So Luke is pushing hard. He's got to push hard at this point. He doesn't care about the points. He's not in this for a season championship. He's not in it for the points or anything like that. Luke wants to win this race. So Luke and Duncan are going to be pushing hard all the way to the finish. I guarantee you. That's probably why they just got a flat because they're pushing so hard. But what's the point? You either win the Baja 1000 or you don't. That's what's going on in Luke's truck right now with Duncan. So that's going to be honestly, this is going to be a fun one to watch. If I was watching one car right now, I would watch this one. Because the other two in the front aren't broadcasting. So what are you really going to watch? I mean, I'd watch Ampudia, but Ampudia can't go fast because his lights aren't working. So he's definitely hindered by his lights. Luke can push hard right now. Speaking of pushing hard, Green Army, Justin Davis, his lights are working pretty good. Look at that. Pushing hard through there. I mean, that's a narrow section right there. There is no room for error on either side of the truck. So you don't want to hit a rock. That's how easy it is to get flat. You just go off a little bit and smack a big rock. So there's all right. That is a look there. Let's go back to the tracker. Let's show you guys some more classes. Let's look at class 1. Class 1 is, yeah, this is turning into not so good of a race, actually, because the 162 is kind of walking away with it. The 168, still broken. I mean, they've been broken there since our last update, so bummer there. 162, Brendan Gaughan's car, honestly, they just got to get to the finish at this point, and they'll win. So not too much of a race in Class 1. Pro UTV Open, this is a good race. This is actually one of the better races, actually. Look at this. So we have 1841, Max Eddy out front, and then we have Caden McCachran, hasn't updated for 5 minutes. So he's actually, let's refresh everybody here. We'll do it one time because we need to get a refresh. But I turned off the auto so it doesn't take this long for everything. Ampudia is also having steering issues, just confirmed. Okay, so Ampudia has light issues we clearly see he's got light issues, and then he has steering issues as well. So steering and light issues for Empudia. That's going to make it hard to win, like we said. So here we go. Caden McCachran is actually in first. You can see he's in first. Max Eddy is in second. Both those just updated. So that is a good update right there. So Caden and them are there. Then we have third and fourth is Ronnie Anderson and Brandon Sims right there. And then we got fifth, Michael McFadden. Then we have Mike Caffro back here. And we just got an update. Mike Caffro is out of the car. We got Jamie is in till 6:10, and they had to replace a hub. So there's an update on the Mike Caffro car, if you guys were wondering. And then we got Justin Lambert back here. It did look like Justin Lambert got out and someone else is in that car because we were watching their audio and their video a little bit ago, and it sounded like somebody else was in that car. They didn't know how to turn the dome light off. The dome light on those cars, it's actually super cool. Polaris did a good job. When you go under 5 miles an hour, the dome light comes on in red, and then all the rock lights come on. So that it's for this purpose. When you pull in your pit at a night race like this, all the lights are on automatically so everybody can see. And then as soon as you start going, once you go over 5 miles an hour, they all shut off. But whoever got in Lambert's car didn't realize that it shuts off, and they were freaking out trying to turn the light off when they were starting to go. All they had to do is drive, and it goes off automatically. So kind of cool little insider tip for you guys there. All right, Pro UTV forced induction. We're going to check our times too, because Phil Blurton is making his way forward. And look at this. There's Phil Blurton right there. Now I want to turn on the other class. So Phil Blurton is at 484. And these other guys are at, what mile is this? It's basically 514. So they got a bit of a distance. They got like 30 miles in front of Phil Blurton. But for fun, let's go look at the times for the UTV overall is what we're trying to see here on the time. So mile 457, 1001 is Caden McCachran, 1001. Phil Blurton, 1018, basically 1019, so about an 18-minute lead. So 18-minute lead right now, Caden McCachran has for the UTV overall trophy. That is a separate trophy, so it is kind of a big deal. You have the motorcycle overall, you got the four-wheel vehicle overall, and then you got the UTV overall. So you got 3 separate overall trophies that are within the overall race, if that makes any sense. And then you have the one overall trophy as well, and that's for the ultimate overall. Sometimes it's a bike, sometimes it's a car, you never know. That is the ultimate trophy though, to get an overall at the Baja 1000. Pretty cool. All right, Alan is crazy. He's not slowing down for shit. You were right. Alan is nuts. He is crazy. Him and Tavo are both crazy. Yeah, let's see, did Alan get his lights working yet? They're not flickering now, so maybe a little better. All right, maybe his lights figured it out. So Alan's going, but he does have steering issues. We confirmed that. So steering issues are never fun at night. All right, what else we got to check on for you guys? Who else haven't we looked at that you guys want to see? Throw it up in the chat if you want us to look at somebody else. Meanwhile, let's go look at Racing Redefined real quick. Do a quick check-in. What is this? Is this accurate? Hold on. We got to refresh. Hold on. It did... What happened here? Did Christopher Polvardi's truck stop? Let's go look. What do we got going on here? Hold on. We got to refresh. Did Bryce pull over? Did he stop? Hold on. Waiting for an update. That looked weird. It looked like Bryce was at 0 there, didn't it? No, he's still moving as of 1 minute ago. So I'm going to say it was just a weird tracker thing for a minute. 94 is still out front. That's why you got to check the multiple trackers, because look at that. Obviously, the 94 tracker, it hasn't updated, and it looks like the 46 got in front of him, but clearly they're not moving. So maybe the Racing Redefined app stopped for a minute. Let's see. Or I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, Robbie's still moving, but they're not moving. So that's kind of weird. But this app here, the main score one, we saw they were moving. Let's refresh one more time just to make sure. Let's see. The 94 should still be moving. We haven't heard that they're not. You guys are even at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it's amazing. Everybody has Starlink, so everybody's connected everywhere now. Yeah, 2 minutes ago they were moving. So I'm going to say it's just a weird thing going on in the Racing Redefined app, and that they are still moving. Our 125 guy, we'll check on them again. Did we check on this update already? I don't even know. I think that was last update. Here he is. All right, he's off the highway. He's off the highway. He's going up Matomi Wash. So the 1980 125 XLS Honda machine is still moving, and he is at mile 464, looking pretty good. So he did the long highway section. Now he's back in the dirt, and he's just cruising. So he's going to be good. I'm telling you guys, I got no doubts. He is going to finish this race. Let's go check on class 11, and then I'm done for this update because I got to catch up on social with you guys. All right, 1103 is in front, followed by 1111. So that is your first and second place. Ralph in first, Eric Sloronzo in second place. Class 11s are both moving 11 miles an hour and 27 miles an hour. That is good news, and that's all we care about. As long as class 11 keeps moving, that's all that matters, right? All right. All right, we are those two quads that were up front. Yeah, those took the sportsman cut. So they technically, that's how they got so far up, was the quads you guys saw earlier that were way up there. They took the sportsman cut, which is right here. If you guys don't know what the sportsman cut is, these guys are on it right here. So see the 243 and the 258? When they get right here, they just go left and then they skip this whole top loop. So that the bikes don't have to do that top loop if they're in the sportsman class. Same with the cars in the sportsman class. Class 11s are going to take that as well. So it is something to try to get everybody in the slower classes to try to get a finish. They cut a few miles off for them. So I don't know how I feel about it. It's, it is what it is. Sportsman class can take it. If everyone in your class wants to take it, you can. You didn't do the whole race, but you did the whole race for your class. So it still kind of counts. Just, you can't compare your overall time at all because your overall time is off. You didn't do the same loop that everybody else did. You can only compare your time to everyone that's in your class. So those quads, like, they can't look at their overall time and say, oh, they were only, half an hour behind the fastest bike. No, they actually didn't do the whole top loop. So their time doesn't actually count for that. It just counts for their class. Where is Robbie Gordon? See, you guys haven't asked me this very much today. I was almost getting worried about you guys. He's right here. He's at mile 629, but that's not actually Robbie. It's just his name because that is Max Gordon in the car now. Robbie is probably sitting on the highway, I would guess, either back down here towards 3 poles, or he's up at the top. Most likely he's going to be down here. I don't think Robbie would go all the way up to the top. So I'm going to guess that Robbie's sitting on the highway. Probably right here would be my guess. Robbie Gordon's probably sitting right here. That would be my guess where Robbie is. So there's your Robbie update. Polvardi tracker's not updating. Yeah, I know. It hasn't updated for a little bit. So they were having electrical issues in that truck earlier. So I don't know. The tracker has its own battery, so it really shouldn't not update because of electrical issues. And there you go. It just updated. It's just being slow in that area. The 94 is clearly still out front, and they are still moving at 38 miles an hour. Toby Price is second, and Alan Impudia is third. There you go. All right. That's it for this update. We will be back at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock will be your next Fishgistics update. So I will see you guys in just a little bit, just over half an hour. Until then, go over to watchparty.cc. You can load everything right here. Including the score channel, which I don't know what I got going on here. That's a weird score one. Let's move that out of the way. We got less cameras at night now. It's a bummer. Bryce Menzies and Toby Price's camera have gone out. But if you look on the left side, there's still plenty of cameras to choose from. So go on here, pick some cameras, watch some feeds, come back here at 10 o'clock for your next